Hey, this is Adam from the Acorn Lodge, here to take you inside the session on Mr. Sidechain. So the material for Dinky's Tycho and for Ambient Peaks all came from 4 Wednesday mornings that we got together and got all the toys out and had a play. You're looking at the first Wednesday morning that we did, and the bit we're interested in is right here. The very second thing that we played was Henry messing around with this patch. And then pretty much straight after that we get yeah, there it is. That's the patch. See Henry's patch video for the breakdown of that. And as you can see up on the timeline, there's the note to ourselves, sidechain this. That was the plan. And that was basically it. So we have this whole big block, which becomes the second section of the song. And then this block that we played after that eventually became the intro to the song. And that was all from June of 2021, way back. So then a year later, we were getting together again to listen to all of the material. And we wanted to sidechain these chords. We wanted to sidechain them with some drums. The studio that we were in that day, we had Logic, and so that's what we did the drums in. Let me play you a little bit of these, like dry drums. Yeah, I say dry, they're compressed a bit. Maybe there's some mixing. So that's the Logic's like stock Logic drummer. I think the Neo Soul kit. Yes, it is the Neo Soul kit, because we've got the MIDI for all of that down here. So there's all of that MIDI you can see. Let's give that a play. Yeah, so very human. It's not really on the grid. Pretty sure this was all in one take. It's definitely one take, but I don't think we did a second take. I think this was just, let's do some drums, and there we go. On this tune, luckily there's nothing to be kind of out of time against, apart from itself. We've just got the mini log playing its chords, and although that mini log maybe has its own kind of internal meter, once you sidechain it, it takes on all of the rhythmic quality of the drums. The mini log itself was sidechained in Logic and printed as such. And in fact, on the final tune, you can hear that pumping continues even after we fade the drums out. So once we had those Logic drums, we also decided a bit about the structure. So this is when that second pass of mini log patch went to the start. That's this stuff. And we also added a second patch, an overdub patch of this, the arpeggiator that you'll hear from the start of the tune. Sounds like this. Pretty sure this is OB6, and yeah, just sat down and played a big chord and then messed around with the filter till we got what we wanted. One of the great things about the OB6 is its state variable filter. So we start that take with it in low pass mode, and as we move through, it morphs from low pass to high pass within the same patch. That's really nice. There's another little bit of that at the end, and that was the tune basically. That's all the structure. Okay, so in this session we had the opportunity to use Roland Space Echo, and so we wanted to use that to just vibe the drums up a fair bit. And so what we ended up doing was these 2 individual takes of processing the kick and snare through the Space Echo. And it was one each. So my take is panned hard left. And Henry's take is panned hard right. And because we've both got the same source material going in, when we have them panned left and right, when both Henry and I are doing the same thing, the drums are locked in the centre. And then as our performances differ, those differences get pushed right out to the hard left and right. Yeah, it's really cool. And again, I'm pretty sure we did one take each. I don't think there was a second take. Trying to keep that sense of spontaneity. At this point, we also sent the hi-hat through some distortion and stuff. I don't think that's a space echo. I think that's just some distortion. And at this point, the hi-hat is getting sidechained by the dry kick and snare. Because why not? Sidechaining was the order of the day. Great stuff. What else we got in here? We've got the dry kick and snare that is just about audible. I think we kept that in because it just added a tiny bit more weight to the drums that had come back from the space echo. Yeah, it's just the sub there that's bringing back. And we also sent another version of that ending arpeggiator patch through the space echo. Again, in all three of those space echo tapes, we're just playing with feedback. We're playing with wet dry, with the delay time. And so the space echo on these arpeggiators, we get this sort of additional like feedback, resonance stuff that's happening. This session is also the mix and master session. Not that there is all that much to talk about really in terms of mix. I mean, if you just take a look at, so in Reaper we have the like effects chain here, and all these grey ones mean that there's no effects on the channels. This hi-hat track, as I say, has got the sidechain compressor on, but apart from, you know, level stuff to balance, there's no per track EQs, no per track effects. There's nothing happening really in that mix. We're just balancing what we've got. It's a pretty textbook example of mixing by arrangement, of mixing by sound design. It also helps that this is a really small session. I mean, we're barely touching 10 tracks, some of which aren't even super audible. That makes it easy. Like, it's easy to do there's a lot of space already built in, right? So we don't have to worry about carving out too much. Everything's got its space. Yeah, and then in terms of the master, again, not a great deal going on. So there's some EQ. We've like beefed up the kick there, and just touched the top end a tiny amount. We've got this black box sort of distortion processor that's happening. That's pretty common across the entirety of both records. I'll play a little bit of this with and without, so you can get an idea of what that's doing. So this is with. And I'll take that out. And back in. Well, I mean, it's subtle. I mean, if that had not been in, I don't think anyone would have minded. It's just adding a little bit more weight in the lows. And then we've got some limiting right on the end. Again, we're hardly doing anything, couple of dB of gain just to bring it up to like -7, -8 LUFS. And hopefully you can see on the meter here that we're only really doing like hardly any reduction, less than a dB of like limiting that's happening. And again, that's like a benefit of the session as we've got it. Pretty much everything's like hitting distortion and getting saturated anyway. So a lot of the like micro dynamic range has been taken care of. So there you go, that's Mr. Sidechain inside the session. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers.